All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first Monday Riman opportunity presentation of the new year. I want to take the time to thank every single one of you for carving time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening. And if you're a guest that's joining us for the first time, you're probably here for one of two reasons, right? Either one, you heard there's an incredible money-making opportunity that can change your life, or two, you're simply trusting in the experience and a recommendation of a friend. Either way, it says a lot about you. And whether you realize it or not, how you choose to participate from this point forward, your life has already begun to transform. Your life has already begun to change. And just to kind of briefly introduce myself, just we're not complete strangers, my name is Julian Doan. I am a director here with Riman. I've been with Riman now for 2 years, and it's been such an incredible journey. And just like many of you who are seeing this for the first time, I had no idea how big this opportunity was going to be. I had no idea how much my life was going to change. And I say that because, at 36 years old, when I got started in Riman, I was already situated in my career. I built a very, very successful career teaching boxing-inspired fitness classes in studio for a major brand. I also did it very successfully digitally for brands like Lululemon, Meta, Alo. And so my schedule was good. The money I was making was good. But deep down inside, I knew something was missing. And let me show you kind of what that is, right? Coming from the fitness industry, being 38 years old, teaching fitness classes and filming on-demand classes, I knew that there was a shelf life to my career. And my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was super supportive. She was in the fitness industry as well. And I just looked at the situation. I just said to myself, man, like, the money is good now, but what's going to happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when I can no longer do what I do? Then what's next, right? And Riman kind of solved that answer for me. I was introduced to Riman October of 2023. And unlike a lot of you guys are seeing this as an opportunity meeting on a Zoom and a PowerPoint, and I'll kind of share with you my experience, how I saw it, which is completely different, okay? And how I was just introduced to Riman, it was by two really good friends of mine, national directors, Mr. Tim Her and Chris Kim. They haven't even got started in Riman yet. And I remember getting a phone call, right? And Chris Kim, national director, was like, Julian, listen, I need you to trust me. I need you to drive down to JW Marriott in Irvine. We need to talk. And Chris is like my older brother. He's my mentor. Anytime he has a serious conversation with me and he says, hey, we need to talk, I drop whatever I'm doing and I show up. And I just got done teaching a fitness class, mind you. I'm wearing tank tops and joggers, okay, with sneakers. I pull up to JW Marriott, and as I'm pulling up, I see hundreds of people in suits, formally dressed with badges and name tags. And I'm like, what I just walk into. I parked my car. I remember coming out, Mr. Chris Kim coming up, saying, hey, Julian, thank you for making it. He's dressed up. Excuse me, let me take out my gum. And I said, Chris, where am I? And he says, hey, you're about to take a look at something that's going to change the game. I'm going to introduce you to some important people, right? But just keep an open mind. And I remember looking at him. I said, Chris, like, why didn't you tell me to dress up? He's like, no one's going to notice. I walk into the convention center, everybody's in suits. I'm like, Chris, people are going to notice. He's like, don't worry, right? He takes me to the back. And that's when he introduced me to Mr. Chairman On, right? Introduced me to the founder of the company. And that's when he started telling me about the story of Riman, the history, what they've already done, and where they're going. And it was in those moments that I really saw the vision, right? And so in the very beginning, he talked about Riman, what they've already done, right? He shared with me how Riman was started in 2018 in South Korea. And right now, Korean skincare is the gold standard for beauty and skincare. People travel all around the world to go to Korea for their technology, right? Their advanced skincare treatments and everything. So Korea is the hub. Everybody today is looking for a Korean skincare. They know how good it is. The challenge is most people are not educated enough on what separates apart, what's good, what are great products, and what are just products that are trying to capitalize on the trend. And so when I saw that it was starting in South Korea, it got me excited knowing this is a homegrown, authentic Korean skincare brand from South Korea and not just some company slapping Korea on it just so they can make money because it's trending, right? And let me share with you something. Then he shared with me how well the company's been doing, right? At that time, the company's only been around for 3 years and they did $2.5 billion in revenue. Okay, 2.5 billion. And for me, when I heard that, I was so surprised because most companies, 3 years in business, are barely celebrating 50 million, 100 million. But here's a company that's already done $2.5 billion in revenue. Okay, they became the #1 K rated beauty brand in all of South Korea. So what does that mean? That means out of all the Korean beauty products in South Korea, we are the #1 exported product to come from South Korea. That means people want our product and they're buying the product. So when I saw that there was already huge demand and that people are already receptive to it, I said, man, like this opportunity is already proven. And so what ended up happening, just to kind of give you guys idea, numbers to the stats, right? Just in South Korea alone, it's a small country. It's about 55 million people, about the size of Indiana. And they were able to, a country of 55 million people, sell 40 million of our bottles of our dermatology cream. Think about that for a second. 40 million bottles to a population of 55 million in the most competitive market for its niche. It caught my attention. Right? And so what ended up happening is, when they started blowing up in 2020, what ended up happening was obviously we know COVID happened. So they didn't expand internationally. They just focused primarily on South Korea and they were able to do all that. 2.5 billion, 40 million units sold, became #1 before they even expanded internationally. And I remember seeing that and I go, man, that's huge. And that's when Mr. On started sharing me his vision of what they're going to do with Riman, how they just launched United States and Canada just a couple months earlier in March, right? Brand new company in North America, Canada, right? How they had plans to launch in Taiwan, which they did December of that year, Hong Kong, July of last year, Mexico, Singapore, Malaysia, right? April of 2025, last year, right? They launched Philippines, October of last year, the United Kingdom in October. We just launched Japan Q4 last month in December. And Italy, Spain, Ireland, so many more countries in Q1. But keep in mind, when I saw this for the first time 2 years ago, it was only United States and Canada, and Taiwan was a few months away. He was sharing that we're going to expand all these countries. And let me share with you something. In the next 2 years of being involved in Riman, they delivered and over-delivered on everything they said they were going to do. Now, if you look at the right, these are all of our corporate headquarters in all the different countries that we do business in. Our company is very, very solid. What they do is they go into the country, right? They open up a headquarters because they want to show every country their commitment to the marketplace, right? Which is huge. Okay, I'm actually in the Riman office out here in Irvine, California right now. And so when he showed me the stats, the numbers made sense. But what I wanted to know is, can I get behind the brand? Does it have a compelling story? What makes this product different than other products, right? What's gonna silence all the noise and clear the path that there is no competition? And that's when he started breaking down the brands. He says, Julian, we have 3 brands here in Riman. One is ICD, right, which is our premium skincare line. Then we have our Botalat, that's our personal care and hair care line. And we have our Lifening, which is our nutrition line. And he goes, all of it is based on a couple of key principles, right? Clean and gentle ingredients, right? Products that actually work and products that are affordable. And he says how Riman actually came to be, how Insoderm, the products, it was almost like divine intervention. And I know that sounds crazy, but let me share with you. Imagine I'm sitting there behind stage, right? With the owners. Outside on the other side, there's 3,000 people all excited about the opportunity. And as he's sharing this with me, he says, Julian, how it all started was I saw my kid, on the beach and how youthful their skin looks. And I was like, man, as a formulator, as a product specialist, I want to create a product, right, that can help people maintain that youthful look, that youthful glow on a genuine level, right, where it's affecting their skin, right, at the deepest level, not just covering the surface. And he says, that's when I started doing research, right? I actually have the product right here, right? In Korea, this is how it all started. And this is going to be wild, okay? Now, for those of you on the call, I'm pretty sure we all heard of Neosporin. Neosporin is a huge a product, right? Everybody around the world uses it. But in Korea, there's a product called Madacasol. And Madacasol at the time, okay, and I think it still is, right? Madacasol was the #1 selling product, right? Outsells Neosporin. And the reason why is because of its effectiveness, how well it heals, cuts wounds, how well it brings down inflammation and irritation. And because it was doing so well, our owner looked into it, what makes it so special. And in that product is a product called Centella Asiatica, which is the backbone of our product. Centella Asiatica, there's over 40 years of research. It's also known as tiger grass. Because why? Because in the wild, right, they learned and discovered that tigers instinctively knew that after battle, they would roll around in this grass and the healing properties would help them heal their scars and wounds, right? So it has huge history, huge legend behind it. So our owner said, that's the plant that we're going to use, Centella Asiatica. Now, while at the same time, on Jeju Island, something else was happening. You see, on Jeju Island, there's a volcano where for over 400,000 years, water gets filtered through all the volcanic rock gets, free of impurities, infused with all these different minerals, right? So there's a bedrock, a cave of all this water underneath the volcano. And because of all the healing properties and everything, but here's the deal: the Korean government wants to protect the environment. It's protected by UNESCO, right? And so what ended up happening was the Korean government actually issued 10 government contracts to 10 companies to be able to access to this water for research, development, and commercial use. And because Chairman On, our owner, is known for creating some of the best products, right, on the market, they awarded it to him. So, Riman has that contract. So with the water, right? And here's why that's significant, having that water, because you and I both know in skincare products, 82% of it is water. But other companies use distilled water. We use living water, energy water, water that has minerals infused, right? And what ended up happening was he took the water, he started experimenting with the plant, started spraying on the plant, started growing it on their smart farm. And you know what ended up happening? The combination of the water and the plant ended up growing from its normal size, which is the size of a quarter, to the size of the palm of your hand. Can you imagine that? Right? From a quarter to the palm of your hand. And we all know science, right? When something grows in size, so does the efficacy, right? So does the density of the nutrients. And so that's kind of how it came to be. And we actually have the patent on the plant, right? For over 20 years, no one else can grow that plant. We created a whole new species called the giant bronchol, right? Or the giant Centella asiatica. And so while all that's happening, in Korea, there's another product that's doing phenomenally well. It's a special lidocaine cream. That's the most effective cream, pain relief cream that everybody's using. And he says, why is that product so effective? So he started doing research on that product. And what he discovered was what separated that lidocaine product from other products on the market was its absorption, because they used a process called a microfluidizer. Okay? And I was like, and I go, I have no idea what that means. He goes, well, Julian, it's very, very simple, right? They run their ingredients through a microfluidizer. And what that machine does, it coats the ingredients, right, in exosomes and lysosomes, making it smaller into nanoparticles, allowing it to absorb into the deepest layer of your skin. So where most products only affect the surface and the first couple layers, that product goes all the way to the deepest layer, allowing maximum absorption. And he goes, that's when we had the idea. We already had the best ingredients, right? Now we have the best technology to deliver those ingredients for maximum absorption. And that's how our products came to be. He runs our ingredients through a microfluidizer, right? And making our products. And that's why people who use our products, they experience tremendous results incredibly fast. Why? Because our products are actually getting absorbed to your skin and they're quality ingredients, okay? So where all this magic happens, he says, Julian, you see on Jeju Island, we built something called Riman Campus, right? And on Riman Campus, we have a solar power station, a wind power station, because we're very consciously aware of protecting the environment and how special Jeju Island is, right? We want to make sure we have a clean footprint, right? And he goes, we grow everything on our Riman smart farm that we recently just expanded, right? We have our Bungpool lab. That's where they extract, all the ingredients, the Jeju Lava Water Center, where the water gets pumped into all these tanks, right? And for us to be able to use. And Ask Base is one of the most highly advanced product development and research centers in the world. And it's all owned by Riman. And that's one of the biggest things, because as he created this product, he realized how great this product was, and he didn't want to just sell it to another company. He didn't want to white label it, because he knows that if he did that, all these other companies would raise the price so incredibly high, right, that it would be out of reach for most people. And he didn't want that. He wanted to create great quality products that's better than anything on the market, right? That can show people dramatic results relatively fast, right? And more importantly, it's affordable, for everybody. And so for me, that was huge, right? That's how everything came to be, right? And just to give you an idea what our Riman Smart Farm looks like, right? It's huge. And again, if you look at the bottom left picture, you can see the normal Centella asiatica, the size of, a quarter, and then the new one, the size of the palm of your hand. Like, can you imagine that? All these series of events that lined up for the company to get to where it's at, and we control the whole process, right? Riman owns the process from seed, soil, right, to extraction, to bottle, to your face. And why is that so significant? It's because there's no changing of hands. Our company owns the product, right? And so we also own the quality control to make sure that we can always stand behind everything that we do. Even the bottling company, the company purchased and now owns as well. So it's huge, right? On top of that, something they wanted to give back to the distributors, they built something called Riman Village, right? It's a total of 9 different villas. Rumor has it they're expanding, right? 9 villas. And every year, all the new directors and hire get flown out to Riman Village, where they get wined and dined, they get taken care of. There's a whole spa there with the Centella asiatica extract and the Jeju Lava energy water pool. and you get a whole tour of the facility in Jeju Island, and it's truly an amazing experience because when you talk about it, you believe in it because you know it's real. Other people have seen it, but when you see it and experience it yourself, it's like magic, right? It's like one, hearing about Disneyland and promoting it, and number two is actually going to Disneyland. It's a totally different experience, and that's really where the magic happens. I'm gonna play a quick video that's gonna highlight everything I just mentioned, and we'll talk a little bit more.
Evolution. Some evolutions, through countless attempts, completely surpass the previous generation, demonstrating their superiority. This process gives rise to a new species, a giant soldier infused with the mysterious energy of Jeju lava. The original source of energy, the light body, evolves through multiple iterations. Until doom.
And so a couple of things I think is really cool to point out. Number one, Wong Bin, he's close to 50 years old, right? And he's one of the most famous people in South Korea, one of the most famous actors. In fact, in Korea, he would be equivalent to like a George Clooney or a Brad Pitt, someone that doesn't really attach his name to many things. You don't see him on too many advertisements unless he owns the product. And when he attached his name to Insilderm because he loves the products, it's really what supported Riman in catapulting in South Korea. And why is this so significant? You see, I shared with you why I got started in terms of numbers, in terms of the story. But the other thing that I got super excited about is because, again, in life, so many times, I don't know about you, but I've always been behind the trends. I always get on things too late. And the thing about Korean skincare is it's hot, it's new right now, it's in demand. And the big reason behind that is because of Korean pop culture. Wherever you go, Korean pop culture has a chokehold on the world, right? You go on Spotify, you top 50 of any country, and I promise you in the top 10, you're going to find Korean pop songs on there, right? You look at Netflix, right? Top shows, movies of any market, and I promise you, you're going to see Korean TV dramas on there, Korean movies on there, right? This year, or last year, K-pop Demon Hunters was everywhere. The most talked about and looked forward to performance at the Thanksgiving Macy's parade was what? The K-pop Demon Hunters performance, right? And so behind all that is K-beauty. People are now being exposed to different beauty standards, right? Korean artists, models, and people want that look. They want that youthful glow, right? They want to reverse the signs of aging, but not just reverse the signs of aging, but they also want to protect their body as well and not put dangerous chemicals into their body or on their body. So it's huge. So when I saw that, the combination of business and timing, what they've already done, right? The product's already proven itself in the hardest market, right? Into new markets where there's a huge demand and we have the supply, right? And again, it's trendy, it's cool. We get to be a part of something cool, trendy while it's happening. People are already spending so much money on Korean pop culture stuff, Korean skincare, but how many people are actually making money on it? And so for me, when I saw that, that's when the wheel started to turn for me, okay? So just kind of highlight more about our products. Right, our premium skincare line is our Insilderm, right? In the cellular dermatology, we have two lines, the signature line and the advanced line, right? To find out which one's best for you, right? Just get back to the person that invited you, and you can take a whole skincare quiz and answer the questions, and it'll recommend you what you need, right? But for me, I actually use both, and it really depends on the time of day. At nighttime, I always use the advanced line, right? And then the advanced line, think of it more like a concentrated version of the signature line. It's more nutrient dense, 100% microfluidized, right? And the reason why I like using that at night is because at night is when your skin repairs itself the most, right? And both lines, what they have in common is they help fight fine lines and wrinkles, right? Diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, hyperpigmentation. People that have sunspots, right? Color spots that they're not too happy with, right? That they want to improve on. It does that as well. Skin brightening, returning your skin to its natural vibrance and color and light, right? So it's huge. And on top of that, the moisturizing, scars, all these different things, right? So it's huge. Again, you just got to use the product yourself. And once you do, you'll notice a tremendous result, okay? This is my personal before and after picture. I just want to kind of share with you. One of the biggest mistakes I made, and I want to share this with all of you so you don't do it. When you get started in Riman, make sure you take a before picture and then take an after picture after your first use. Okay. If you do it at night, make sure the next day you wake up, take another picture of yourself. Then another one 7 days later, right? 2 weeks later, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. And you want to document that journey because when you see your face every single day, you're not going to notice dramatic differences, right? But when you put a before and after picture together, you notice a huge difference. So the picture on the left, that's actually a picture of me on stage speaking at Riman. And this is 3 months in the business. Okay, 3 months in the business, you could tell my skin was a lot darker. It was very, very uneven, right? The skin texture wasn't as smooth. And if you look on the right, this picture was taken about 2 weeks ago. I was like, hey, maybe I should update I take an after picture. And so this is 2 weeks ago. And so I feel like I'm aging backwards, which is great. Especially, as you get older, you start becoming more conscious about the fine lines and wrinkles and stuff that comes onto your face. And, if you can reverse the signs of aging, feel good in your own skin, look good, it makes a big difference. And one of the biggest things I can tell you that separates us from other products is I wouldn't even consider ourselves skincare. I would consider ourselves skin repair, right? It brought back the youthful glow on my skin again, right? The elasticity. I mean, it's phenomenal. And, I don't know if this is TMI or weird, but one of my favorite, things that have happened because of Riman, I love it at night after I use the products. When my wife touches my face, she goes, "Oh, it's so smooth," right? And then I'm like, and like, wait, I'm a guy. Slap her hand, like, "Hey, I just put skincare on my face. Don't touch my face." No, I'm just kidding, right? But it's one of my favorite things because people are going to notice a difference. People are going to start complimenting you. Just imagine going on your day, normally use the products, and people are like, "Hey, did you get something done? Your face looks different. Did you get Botox?" Right? Your skin is glowing. And again, just hearing those compliments, imagine not just receiving those compliments, but supporting people in getting compliments, right? That's essentially what we do. We use the products, we talk about the products, we demo the products, and we help people get compliments, and they come back and they start sharing it with people. And really, that's how it grows organically, right? So give you a couple of other before and after pictures of people that have experienced the difference in Riman, right? The top left is Miss MJ Kim, right? You can see a huge difference in her face, right? Imagine creating that lift in your face, Botox in a bottle, lifting your face, right? Tightening your face and giving that look again, right? If you look at the bottom left, like imagine that's a huge difference. Can you imagine being that person, seeing that difference in the mirror? Imagine being the husband, seeing that difference in the mirror, right? Huge. So we have so many before and after pictures, but the most important before and after picture that you're ever going to see is going to be yours. So make sure that you guys document yours as well, okay? Then we have our Botox Lab. It's our personal care and hair care line, right? And what's really great about our product, number one, it's vegan, right? It's vegan. And also, I forgot to mention, our skincare line has passed all the hardest regulatory EU standards in existence, German standards, and that's a lot higher than FDA. So if you do your research and you look at that, our company's product is highly accredited, okay? Now, when it comes to our personal care and hair care line, what I love about these products is, number one, it removes the dirt and oil, which it should, right? But the biggest thing is it doesn't dry out your skin. Some of the biggest things before, when I used to shower, use a bar of soap, right? My skin would come out being very dry, very red, right? And again, when I had more hair, I was using shampoo and conditioner. It would remove the dirt and oil, but it would dry out my scalp. I would end up getting dandruff, right? And what's really great about our products is because it's so gentle. It doesn't use the aggressive chemicals that other products use. You can actually wash your hair more often, right? It will remove the dirt and oil, but it'll leave your hair hydrated, your scalp hydrated. A lot of people who use our products notice that they have dealt with dandruff disappears, right? And not only that, but I got to figure out how I got to phrase this, because in Korea, they're allowed to share that this product helps people regrow hair. But in America, it's very, very strict, so we can't really say that. But, our product is known to help people that are experiencing hair loss. And one of the biggest reasons why people experience hair loss is because they don't wash their hair too often, because most products are so aggressive. And what happens is all those particles on your scalp get clogged up, causing your hair to fall out, right? Not necessarily going bald, but when you shower and you condition, you pull your hands away and all those strands of hair come out, that's the cause of that. And because of our product and how gentle it is, you can wash it more often. And again, people notice that their hair stops falling out, and they also notice new hair growth as well. And our small male, again, huge, right? So a couple of before and after pictures, just share with you guys people's before and after with their hair. I mean, look in the middle, right? January 3rd to March 22nd, right? Only a few months, but you can notice the hair is a lot more vibrant. It has more density. It's a lot thicker, right? And again, huge. I think, for women, I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, right? I got to be careful how I say it. I'm not trying to offend anybody. But I think, when it comes to like aging, I think for one group, when you notice fine lines and wrinkles, it's huge, right? But for me, I think being a man, when I start hair loss, I think that's like, for a guy, that's huge, right? That's why guys spend so much money going to Turkey. And imagine with our products, right? You're not having to inject dangerous chemicals. You're not having to go to other countries to get very expensive treatments, right? You can use something that's clean and gentle and organic that can hopefully support you, so that way you don't even have to go down those routes, right? Which is huge, okay? Our Life-Thing line, this is actually my favorite line. And the reason why is getting started, coming from the fitness background, this was the easiest one for me to kind of start introducing it to people. And the Deep Talk Plus is one of my favorites, right? It's a probiotic, prebiotic, and digestive enzyme, right? It has a bunch of other things in it as well as zinc. It comes in these little pills, pellets like pills. You swallow it like a pill. You swallow water. And that's when the magic happens, right? It expands in your small intestines. It grabs on to everything that's just sitting in there. And not to be too graphic, right? But the average person has 5 to 10 pounds of excess waste just sitting in there, right? Undigested proteins that's just fermenting in there. That's why a lot of us feel tired, exhausted. Why? Because our body's working so hard to break down all these different foods. And so what this does is like drain over your stomach. It pulls everything out. And what a lot of people notice like bloating has gone away, right? Their digestion is improved, right? And brain fog. Because why is that so important? Your gut health is probably the most important thing that people are now talking about, because anxiety, depression, a lot of these different ailments, even eczema, right, is a result of your gut health, hormones being out of balance. So when you take care of your gut health, everything else starts changing as well, which is huge. And one of my other favorite products is the Beauty Collagen shot, right? We use low molecular collagen peptides, which is the best absorption when it comes to collagen. Most companies don't use low molecular collagen peptides, so you're not even absorbing most of it. You're peeing it out. And on top of that, we use marine collagen, which is the best collagen you can get. Most companies use bovine. And what's amazing about it is ours, right? Highest quality, but doesn't have that fishy taste, right? It comes a nice collagen shot. You drink it. Very, very supportive. People, report improved hair and nails, bones and joints, cartilage, mood. And on top of that, we also have another ingredient in there called glutathione. And glutathione is one of the most powerful antioxidant peptides in existence, right? It's very, very good for anti-inflammatory, but not just that. I'm pretty sure everybody on this call, you're starting to hear more about people talking about heavy metals in your body, heavy toxins in your body, all these different things. And glutathione is one of the best ingredients and peptides you can use, right, to pull out those toxins and heavy metals out of your body. And again, you don't need to inject it or anything like that, right? That's how most people get glutathione, right? Which can be super expensive. Us, nice beauty collagen shot, you sip it, good, right? You're done, okay? So when I saw all this, I said, okay, wow. And I'm sitting here next to Mr. Chairman On, he's explaining all this to me. And I was just totally blown away because, again, the compelling story, right, about how each ingredient was founded, each process led to the other, which formed, our insulderm, our backbone of our products, right, and how Riman was able to do so well. And that was just out of one country. And so I got started and I saw the business plan. Oh, a couple more things and we'll move forward, right? And then makeup just launched as well. Just like how I said, not just skincare, skin repair. Imagine wearing makeup that actually helps heals your face while you wear it, right? We have lip tints, lip butter, everything. And they come in so many different shades. And what's amazing about it is when you put it on, it's not thick, right? Most makeup, what happens, what I hear, you put it on, it gets thick. By the end of the day, you can't wait to wash it off, right? With ours, you put it on, you barely even know it's there, and you don't have to constantly reapply, which a lot of people think is really, really great, right? So imagine, right, using our skincare, right, to change, to fix and improve all those things that you didn't like about your face. So now you wear less makeup. And when you do want to wear makeup, you use makeup that actually repairs your face, right? And to highlight the things you love about your face. And that's kind of the experience that we're giving to people, okay? So again, when I saw all that, I was super excited. I was like, okay, the timing of it makes sense. The company's credible. It's done very, very well. The products, ingredients are solid. The only question I have left is what's in it for me, and can I really do it as an opportunity? And so after that conversation, I went back and I sat in the audience and I got a chance to hear from a lot of the top speakers at the time, people that were in the company for less than a year, making a substantial amount of money. I'm talking about these people were making an annual income on a monthly basis with no experience. And everybody's testimony was the same. We just used the products. We fell in love with it. We started sharing it with people, talking to people about it, right? And then it just started to grow. And that's essentially what happened. And, the next 2 years from us getting started, I'm proud to say Riman has changed my life. 6 months into being involved into Riman, I was able to make enough money to buy my wife her dream engagement ring. And I proposed to her 6 months thanks to Riman. 6 months after that, I was able to marry her. We put together a wedding in less than 3 months for our close family and intimate friends. And it was all thanks to Riman. I got her dream car. And, before I was teaching about 28 classes a week, even though I was making good money, having no energy or time to spend it with my wife, right? To do the things that we actually enjoyed. To now we get to build a business together. We've been able to travel all around the world together thanks to Riman. And it's been such a huge opportunity because we said yes. So let me share with you the business side, okay? So traditional supply chain, We are all familiar how it works, right? There's a company, a supplier, right? They raise the price and they sell it to distributors. Distributors raise the price, they sell it to the wholesaler. Then they do the same to the retailer. And by the time it gets to the customers, what happens? The customers end up paying all the extra money, right, for that product. And our company understood our product is so good, it's so effective. It needs two things. Number one, we need to make it affordable so it's within reach for everybody. And number two, the challenge with our product, it works so well, but people have to experience it to know the difference. So they didn't want to just put it onto a shelf, right, and hope that someone would walk by and just pick it up. Because we know most people buy products they already heard of, they're known, or they're familiar with. And so what they did was they decided to do a high margin distribution business model where they use people like you and I to be the middleman to go out there and promote the products. So they said, hey, if we have people that already love the product, they already have their own personal testimonials and experience and stories, right? And they have strong motivations on why the business can help them. And they just go show it to people. People experience the products and the products will speak for itself, right? And so that's kind of how it grew. And so how we choose to market it is you have three options, right? One is being a social seller, social media, online. And this is like being a brand ambassador. It's like being an influencer, right? For me, with Aloe, with a lot of other brands that I was an ambassador for, they would give you a little coupon code, right? And when someone would go to purchase, if they use your code, they know that customers track to you and you get paid on it. That's kind of how influencers get paid, right? You either get paid per post or you get paid per customer purchase every time they use your code. So that's pretty standard. And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm already used to that. That's what I'm doing. And he said, Remon's a little bit different though, because when you get started, you have your own website. And when customers sign up, they get their own website, their own portal that anytime they want to reorder products or use products, they don't even have to bother you. They can just log in and order it themselves. And they get 5% cash back. And let me share with you why that's so powerful. Because once a customer becomes your customer, they're your customer for life. What that means is from the life of the customer, as long as they continue to use the product, imagine every time they reorder it, you get credit for it, you get paid. For me, being a brand ambassador for a lot of these major brands, my fear was if next month they reorder, they use someone else's code, I don't get paid. Some of the brands I work with, they only pay you on the first purchase. So when I saw this was already way better than what I was used to in the fitness industry, right? In the athleisure industry. And so people that are good at making TikToks, Instagrams, get ready with me, sharing their stories, product reviews. That's a great way that people get customers, right? We have one lady in our company. She sells over $200,000 of product a month just herself because she has a strong social media presence, right? So again, that's huge. Second is the retail shops, right? People that are med spa owners, people that are beauty professionals, they do lashes, nail techs, whatever it is, right? You can show them how you can help them add an extra couple hundred to $1,000 a month per stall, per station, right? Or in their business, and how we can set them up where their customers that go into their business can actually help them build their business outside of their location. So it's huge. We have full training that'll teach you how to do that, right? Again, you don't have to own a med spa, but do you know people that do? Create that relationship, open the door, and when they experience the products, the rest is history. And last, super fun, right? Just through traditional customers, through us sharing it with people, through us demonstrating with people, or what we throw is what we call like the little K pop-up, right? Which is, imagine a Korean skincare little pop-up shop, right? That you can do at your house, you can do it anywhere. You can invite 2, 3 people, a lot of people up to you, where they just get a chance to experience the products, hear great testimonials, and also hear, if they wanted to, how they can make some extra money, right? So again, when I saw that, huge, okay? And again, because I was already used to it. Now, what's amazing about this company is very, very simple, okay? You get paid. This is our comp plan, super easily explained. Now, we have full training that will go in depth, that will teach you how to build the business and all the ins and outs. But here's all you got to know. On all the anything you personally do, you're gonna get paid a lot on that. You're gonna get paid the most, the highest percentage on what you personally do. If you decide to build a team of people that go out there and sell the product, you get a small percentage of whatever they sell, right? So if it sounds familiar, it's because it should. Real estate does that, right? You could be a real estate agent, right? And obviously, if you're the real estate agent that sells the most houses, make the most money. Or you could be a real estate broker, build a team of real estate agents, teach them how to sell houses. And while they make the bigger commissions, you get the smaller commissions because you train them, you support them, and you help them along the process, okay? So that's our comp plan. But let me share with you numbers, right? For your personal customers, you can earn anywhere from 10 to 50% on your personal customers. So let's just say, for example, you enroll 10 new customers a month, right, for 12 months, right? That's an average of 200 business points. Now, here's what's amazing, right? Our whole expert line set, just to give you an idea, double cleanser, the booster, the serum, the moisturizer, extra products, right? Our signature line, 333. right? That's more affordable than one moisturizer from one of our competitors like Lemire, $400 for a moisturizer that doesn't deliver results nearly as close. Or Dr. Obaj's cleanser is $120 just for a cleanser that doesn't deliver nearly close to results, right? So again, imagine 200 business points, okay? A month, 50% commission, that's an extra $12,000 a month. Now ask yourself, if you're making an extra $12,000 a month, would that help you? Would that hurt you? Would that make a big difference, right? Now, again, some of you might say, well, Julian, like $12,000 a month, that sounds too good to be true. And that's what I thought when I first saw something like this. And my mentor shared with me, he goes, Julian, if you think people making $12,000 a month is too good to be true, you just don't know how great life can be yet. And I know right now, the month, right, just got started. We're like on the 5th, right, of January. And here's what's amazing. Just through repeat customers, right, there's already people in the company right now in the 5th of the month whose commissions are already at $12,000 a month, right? So again, it's who you're comparing yourself to. And for me, I thought that was huge, that there's even an opportunity where people have a chance to do this. Because where I was at, there was no chance. And guess what? I was committed to that place, right? So why not give something where there is a chance, right? Now, let's just say you went for it and you failed half the time. You only got 5 customers, so an extra $6,000 a month, right? But let's say you enroll 0 customers, right? You get 50% of 0, that's 0. So what does that mean? It's all about customers. Customers are the name of the game, right? Because you can sign up a bunch, you're a real estate broker, you can sign up a bunch of real estate agents, but if no houses are being sold, guess what? No commission is being paid, right? And so for me, again, it's huge. Now, when you get started, there's different ways of getting started. You can either get started as a planner, a manager, or a senior manager. And I'll share with you what that looks like in a little bit, okay? Now, let's just say you get started as a planner. It's only $20 to get started. It's going to your whole back office, your replicated site, and it's going to give you all the tools you need to be able to enroll new distributors, enroll new customers, manage orders, customize your website. Everything's already done for you, and it's just plug and play, right? And when you do that, you become a planner. Now, as a planner, what's going to happen is you're going to earn 10% on whatever you personally order, right? And all your personal customers. And if you introduce someone to the business who wants to promote the business, you're going to earn 5% on whatever they sell, okay? Very, very simple. 10% on whatever you buy or sell, and then 5% on whoever you bring in, whatever they buy and sell. Very, very simple, okay? Now, when you become a manager, when you do 3,000 in sales points in a 3-month period, that's about $3,300 in sales, right? You do that in any 3 months in a row. You do that, you're now going to become a manager, okay? Now, as a manager, your commissions double. You earn now an extra 20 to 30% on your personal customers, 20, 30% on your personal orders, right? And you're going to start earning something called differential pay on your team, right? Depending on where they're at, anywhere from 5% to 10%, right? Which is great, okay? Now, let's say you do 6,000 in sales points in a 3-month period. You now become a senior manager, right? As a senior manager, you triple your commission. Now you're an extra 30 to 40% commission on your personal customers, your personal orders. You're going to also earn differential pay on the people that you introduce, which I'm going to share in a little bit. And now you're also going to unlock 5% incentives on your unilevel, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit, right? So it just means more money. And again, it's all based on volume being sold, based on customers, right? And you can actually get started as a manager and senior manager. I'll share with you a little bit how to do that later. Now, the higher positions like team leader and higher, this is where you start building a team. This is where you start training people. This is where you start looking for people, right? Other than yourself that want to make more money. People other than yourself that want to have more free time. People other than yourself that want to be challenged, try something new, right? Get themselves out of their old situation into a new situation, okay? And when you do that, you start building a team, right? You become a team leader. You do 50,000 in sales points in a 5-month period. You help 3 people become a senior manager. Now, this is where I got excited. Notice every other position was just based on sales. This position is not only based on sales, but it's based on you also supporting other people and getting promoted. Now, the reason why I was excited about that was I might not be confident in me getting promoted, but I'm confident that if someone else's income is on the line to get me promoted, that the chance of me getting promoted is a lot higher, right? And so again, you imagine you go out there and do that, you become a team leader, you now earn anywhere from 40% to 50% on your team commissions, right? Plus all the splits and overrides on your team as well, okay? So kind of give you a breakdown. Again, we have a full training that's going to teach you how to do that, right? On your differential group, right? So again, 10 to 50% on whatever you personally sell. Depending on what position you're at, you're going to get anywhere from 5% to an extra 30% on whoever you introduce, bring in. And on top of that, as you build your team, you get an extra 5%, right? 3 to 5% on your unilevel. So that's as your tree starts to grow. Once you become a director and higher, there's more money available as well. Stuff like leadership override, imagine an extra 2% to 4% on your whole book of business. And you also qualify for something called the revenue share, where you're earning a small percentage on the whole company's book of business, not just yours. And that's why we all play team. That's why we all support each other, because at the end of the day, we're all working towards the same goal, going to the same direction, okay? Now, Just kind of give you an idea of the unit level. Let's just say you introduce three people to the business, right? That want to build the business. They want to make more money. They want to have more free time, right? They want to change people's faces. They want to change people's finances, right? And they'd say they on average about 1,000 business points, right? Each. That's 3,000, right? Let's say three people introduce three people. That's 9. You can repeat the process over 1,000, right? What that's going to look like is an extra 33,000 every single month residually on customers. And to just kind of give you an idea, in 2 years of being involved in Riman, right, I've only personally introduced about 10 people to the business. And out of those 10 people, my business has now grown to over 22,000 planners all around the world. And on top of that, we have over 42,000 customers, right? So it gives you an idea, like we have a lot of customers. And what's interesting enough is our average customer reorders about 6 to 8 times a year. So imagine we only got that customer once, but 6 to 8 times a year, we've all gotten paid multiple times on that. So it's huge, right? So that 33,000 again is residual because when people find great quality products, let me ask you for a second. Let's just take Riman out of the picture. You found great products that work better than anything you've ever used. You cannot believe your results. When you run out, are you going to buy more or are you going to stop using it? You're going to buy more, right? Simple psychology. And that's why having great quality products that deliver results work, right? But let's say you went after that example and you failed 90% of the time, you had a 10% success rate, so an extra $3,300 a month, right? But guess what? You can also outwork that number. You can double those numbers as well. And why do I share that with you? Because here we work at your pace. It's really how much money do you want to make, how fast, and guess what? There's a structure and there's a system that will teach you how to build the business, which is great, okay? Now, to get started, like I said, it's only $20, but there are starter kits that are available, and they're not required, but they're highly recommended. And the reason why is because experiencing the products and letting people experience the products is a lot more effective than just seeing a PowerPoint presentation, just hearing about it. And this is a business, right? When you open up a business, what should you have? Whatever that business needs, right? If you open up a gas station, what should you have? Gas. You open a liquor store, what should you have? Liquor, right? If you open up your skincare business, what should you have? You should have products. Now, here's what I recommend. You should have products for yourself to use because you want to be a product of the product, right? Because again, can we teach, like, no, I'm not even go there, right? We want people that use the product and love the product. We don't want just people in here that just want to make money that can sell anything, right? Because, you know, we want you to love the product and believe in the product. So use it yourself. Number 2, have enough products so you can go out there and demonstrate on people, not from your own stash, but then also have enough product on the side, on top of that, that people you meet that want to buy the product right then and there, you have products you can sell them on the spot, right? And so remember how I said earlier, that you can actually get started as a manager and senior manager. You just got to do 3,000 in sales points or 6,000 in sales points, right? Manager 3,000, senior manager 6,000. Well, what a lot of people do, these starter kit premium, right? There's starter kit premium 1, starter kit premium 2. The only difference is the amount of products you get, right? So talk to the person who invited you to help you pick the best one for you. But what typically people do is if they buy 2 of these kits, either one or a starter kit premium 1 or 2, that's over 3,000 sales points. Now they start as a manager. They start at the 20 to 30% commission, right? They start with the higher overrides, right? Now if they buy 4 of these, it's over 6,000, right? And so now you're considered a senior manager, and now you triple your commissions, right? And again, these kits are not available all the time. They're only available your first 30 days, and they limit you to 4. You cannot buy more than 4. Limit 4 per person, right? And again, the reason why this is huge is because, again, some people have retail locations. Some people don't want to leave money on the table. Some people are like, man, if I could choose between 10% and 30%, I know I'm going to run at this. Why not start at the 30%? Because it's higher commissions, right? And not just that, but starter kit premium 1, starter kit premium 2, and starter kit plus. Okay, most people get these first 2 packages, right? People get the starter kit plus as a great package as well. And the reason why this is a great package, it's 1,000 sales points. So you're already going to qualify for your unit level. Okay, so anybody that gets a starter kit plus or higher, you're going to be qualified for the extra 10%, up to 10% extra commission day one on top of your getting grandfathered in. So it's huge, okay? We also have the starter kit EX line. This is great too. Not a lot of people really get this to build the business. Most people just get this as a customer. This is our whole signature line set. We also have an advanced line version as well. And this is really for customers, right? People want to experience all the products, get a chance to use it. What's really great about all of our products, we have a 30-day money-back full guarantee. And because we stand behind our products, we know you're going to love it. You just got to try it. And so a lot of times when people are sitting on the fence, we just say, hey, just become a customer. Because, you know, once you use the products, right, you start getting compliments, people start noticing a difference, you're going to come back and you're going to want to promote it, right? So again, this is really for customers. This one's for people, at least this one, so you can get qualified for the unit level. And the two bigger ones, I mean, for more product, more bang for your buck, right? We also have the prices in Canada as well. Okay. A couple other things. We have an incentive trip that's going on right now for 2026 in June. It's going to be in Costa Rica. So people going out there building the business, doing something they're supposed to do anyways, they can get rewarded with an all expense paid trip, right? Different tiers to Costa Rica, right? So imagine tickling your toes in the sand, sipping pina colada, and watching monkeys swim from trees, hanging out with your close friends, right? That you built, your family that you built here at Riman, celebrating all your hard work, right? So it's truly exciting. We have leadership check match as well. As you get promoted team leader and higher, you're going to start earning leadership check match bonuses on your leaders. So what they say, pretty much what that means is they're going to look at all your leaders and however much money they make, they're going to match a certain percentage to your commissions, right? Think of it like royalties. Why? Because if you never introduce your friends to the business, you never develop their customer base, the company would never have gotten those customers. So they want to reward you for it because the company understands if they take better care of the people will take care of the company. If they take care of the people, why would they go anywhere else, right? So that's huge. So we have a full system in place. Tomorrow, we have what we call our Riman orientations on Zoom, right? Just like this, enter your code, the Riman password. And what's really great about the Riman orientations is every Tuesday, and that's really the onboarding process for brand new people, right? So they can learn what the tools are, the websites, how to access them. They can understand the importance of short-term goals, long-term goals, identifying what their strong reason why is, and more importantly, setting up a detailed game plan of the system on what's next, managing expectations, and what they need to do to hit the next ranks, okay? On Wednesday, we have an opportunity overview. It's available for everybody, but this one's more tailored to the UK. But again, if you have guests that you want to expose to opportunity, that's another great call as well. On Wednesday, we also have another opportunity meeting with Miss Tracy Zimmer. She's a former teacher from Canada, absolutely crushing it, one of my favorite people. You absolutely need to get a chance to hear from her. And on Thursday, we have Riman Revealed with another one of my favorite people, Miss Christy Belliston. We got a chance to spend time together in Macau, Korea, and the Philippines a couple months ago. It was our first time hanging out. And, you know, how crazy is that? We never met each other before, right? Heard of each other, experienced success in Riman. And Riman has allowed us to travel and create new memories with friends all around the world, right? So it's super cool. Friday, we have a special event. This is going to be simulcasted all around the world to every marketplace that we're doing business in, right? Sorry, UK, I know it's super early for you, right? But for everybody else, right, in the United States is there. Now, if you happen to be in Irvine, California, right, we're also, as people are watching on Zoom, we're going to do a live event broadcast and special training here at the Irvine office with Mr. Danny Bay. So if you're in the SoCal area, that is an event you do not want to miss. You want to make sure you're there, okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for joining us this Monday evening or Monday afternoon if you're in Hawaii. And don't let this moment in time pass you by. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Use the products, try it. I promise you, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it. And once you see that it worked, the wheels are going to start to turn. You're going to see the opportunity, right? And I'm telling you, a simple yes can change your whole entire life, right? 2026 has already started. Let's make this year our best year yet. So with that being said, I love and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you again for your time. I look forward to meeting you all in person. Long Beach, we have a huge convention, and I have a strong feeling a lot of you are going to get promoted on stage. So I can't wait to see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.